Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Woman Who Inspires series. My name is Sreshtha Tewari. I am a woman in leadership coach, a wholeness certified strategist, and the director of the Self Worth, Leadership, and Empowerment Consultancy. In this series, we speak to women who have gone through emotional situations but have been better for it and share on how they dealt with such situations. As we are in the month of May and today is Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, we are talking to single mothers who are also professionals. So today on this series, I'm excited to welcome AnnaLisa Wallace. AnnaLisa is the business owner of Caribbean Solvents Ltd. She has a master's in entrepreneurship and she is the mom of two beautiful girls. Welcome to this series, AnnaLisa. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
So AnnaLisa is going to share an experience in respect of both being a single mother and being a professional at the same time.
Well, as you said before, I'm a business owner and a mother of two girls, one 12 and 8. And the experience of having two children, especially girls, it's like your best friends. And our house is filled with laughter and happiness, and we share stories, and it's really nice and it's really upbeat.
Yeah, so having two children, I love how she described her home, upbeat and full of love and laughter, because those are things children really bring into your life. Lots of
Sure.
love and laughter there. So in becoming a single mother, AnnaLisa, what was something that was difficult for you and how did you deal with it?
I think the most difficult aspect of choosing to become a single mother is that it's just you that the children turn to. You are everything, and I think it's very daunting at times. Uh, but that explains it. The word is daunting because it's only you.
Yeah, so that is a real thing that you feel as a single mother. So I'm also a single mother, and that feeling of anything that happens, so even when the child is crying, and if you, because you're human too, you get upset
Yeah.
as well, but there's nobody else in the home to come and comfort the child, you, at least in my situation, I have to fix myself and understand that I'm angry, explain why I'm angry, and at the same time comfort the child. So how do you deal with that feeling of having to be everything all of the time, be you as a person, and also manage your professional life?
I try I think it's an automatic thing with me where I put myself last all the time. So their emotions come first. If I mean, not every day is not always a good day, even for children. We
Yes.
overlook the fact that they have nothing to do except go to school, but they have their own issues to deal with at school, and um, and in their own social circle. So you have to put yourself last. I put myself last all the time, and I think that's automatic. It's not something that we choose to do. It's something that I think most mothers go through. And then we sit back when everything is settled, like when the day is done, then we do your nails and you wash your hair and you get dressed the next day and the cycle continues. But I think that is an automatic thing for me.
Yeah, so that is an automatic thing because when you have especially young children, an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old, especially for the 8-year-old, at times they don't understand a balance of a mother. They don't understand that you are also an individual with
Yes,
feelings. Mommy is
yes,
God, goddess. Mommy
yes.
can and will do everything for me. So they don't have that perception of mommy being a professional and mommy also being a human. They just know mommy as my goddess who's going to answer everything that I want and attend to my every desire.
Yes, correct.
And so, in managing these two kids, I want to ask you another question. When your kids are 8 and 12, but when they were younger, do you find that it was more of you had to give, and as they get older, it gets a little bit easier?
Yes, as the elderly people would say, when it's small trouble and it's big big trouble. So when they were smaller, yes, it was every ounce of me was for them. And it was a more physical thing. Um, Picking them up, lifting them, feeding them. It was a physical thing. And I think now my two girls could cook, so we cook together, we clean, we do
Oh,
everything together. So it's more of a emotional. I give more emotionally to them because we have to talk all the time and
yes.
to part fight, um, that kind of thing. So the challenges become easier, but it's a different dynamic. I think after, especially for the first child, after that 10 year, that when the SEA period is over, I think it's a quickly the transition takes place. From
Ye-
being from more a physical duty than more of an emotional duty as a parent. You have to talk and you have to guide and you know
Yeah, that's a very interesting transition you spoke about there, and so real. When they're younger, it is more of our physical strength that we use. My 5-year-old still expects me to lift her up, even though I tell her she's a big girl. And shifting into the demands of more emotional, helping them emotionally
yes.
and mentally and giving them guidance. So I find that very interesting and a good point that you raise in respect of how we transition as mothers. So the thing is, life is not static. So when we are thinking about being a single mother, what that might mean for me, sometimes we are afraid of what things we may not be able to handle. But the
Right.
thing is, whatever you're not able to handle will not stay in your life for forever, because they are growing and they are changing and the time passes and the challenges change and the love changes and grows as the children get older. AnnaLisa, also wanted to ask you, so you spoke about putting yourself last, but you still said that you pay attention to yourself in terms of you would do your hair after and your
Yes.
nails and stuff. So can you share on how you take care of yourself being in this situation?
But first, it's a mental. You have to mentally put yourself there to look good. Because I mean, at the end of the day, okay, look, I could just put my hair in a ponytail and go to work, because we're tired. But then I just make a conscious effort because I always say to myself, these kids will get older and go, and you will be more or less by yourself, and you still have a life to live, and you still have to, you have to look good and feel good and present yourself. They always say dress up and show up.
Yeah.
So I try to keep that in my mind all the time. If you wash your hair today, you'll just feel better tomorrow. So I do that. Those are the things I think about all the time. And then too, I think you have to make the time, schedule the time. So when we get home, like after I pick them up from after work, and we get home, it's it's a routine. It's homework, dinner, shower, revision, and then we have all conversation time, prayer time, and then sleep. So that's enough time now for me to do what I have to do. So there's a balance. You get your time and I get my time.
Yeah, no, and that is so important, creating routines, because in coaching, that's one of the main things we help people do.
And I
Create
think,
routines that they could stick to. Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
sorry. I also, during the pandemic, I noticed this with myself. I had the children, there was no shared time with their dad. It was just, I kept them for the obvious reason, the
Mhm.
quarantine time. And at that time, my daughter was in the height of SEA preparation. So when you think you're close to your children, you get even closer during that time. When you think you had a bond before, it's even thicker now. And then when after SEA, and I allowed the shared parenting to continue to resume. Sorry,
Mhm.
um, when they were not with me for that weekend, because it was every other weekend, I felt like a physical pain. Like I was sick from Friday evening straight until Sunday evening. And my, I used to tell my close friends that all the time. You know, I was like, I can't believe this happening, you know, when I should be out, and that's time to like I could actually rearrange homes and do all what I
Yes.
didn't have to do before, all my errands. I am at home and I am sick because they're not with me. And I think that some parents may think, oh, that's a wonderful thing. It's not, because when they go, because I see how fast my 12-year-old, you know, reach 12. And it's really hard. I see parents, even older parents, you know, like they can't let go of their children.
Mhm.
And we think we make children for ourselves, but we raising adults to function individually.
Mhm.
So you yourself have to know how to compartmentalize that. So when, you know, like when they're not with me, I would try to do things for me. So that is when I will arrange, you know, to go out with my friends. That is when I'll arrange to do all my shopping and errands. So I can have those one-on-one times, adult time for myself.
Yes.
So there's a balance. So when they do come back now, it's like a refresh, you know, feeling, because staying home does have its ups and does have its downs when they're not here for me. So I try to keep busy and try to think your children is not the be all and end all of life. You know, some people when their children go, they don't want them to get married, don't want them to migrate, they don't want them to, you know, have friends because they're so attached to them. But that is not what we do. And I think parenthood, for me, this is just my opinion. Parenthood, you know, God bless us with children, and it is to populate the earth with wonderful humans, and make them individual humans that could function on their own, because it's a cycle. It's a cycle, you know, like you oppress them, and you guilt trip them, you know, like I mean, all this I did for you, and you not with me, and that's, you know, it's manipulative. So I
Yes.
try to raise individuals and function, you know, that way.
Yeah, and what you're talking about is so real because you, as a mother, you're naturally a nurturer. A child is born into your aura, into your field.
Yes.
And I mean, it's really up to us to help them to leave that space and form their whole own new, beautiful space. And it's okay. It's okay to miss them. It's okay to feel sad. You're human and you love this being. So it's okay. But it's also okay to take care of yourself,
Yes.
and just what AnnaLisa is saying, knowing that you are growing humans to then move on and do their own things and not necessarily have this this oath to you to ensure that you are okay, which is teachings that we grew up with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But knowing that you are raising individuals to go out into the world and just make it beautiful and better is such an honorable and beautiful thing as well. And it does take, it's part of our growth as humans too, right? Understanding and learning how to let go is a
Yes.
big part of having children, and making sure you don't lose your identity in them as well, and stay on your identity path as well, because they will leave at some point in time. Well, they
Yeah.
should go make their own way in life. So I want to ask you as well, what would you say is your biggest win being a single mother?
I get to break the cycle. I get
Wow.
to break the cycle, that cultural cycle. I get to break that cycle. I get to raise my girls um, strong, but not in a toxic way. You know, they have strong, and then they have this just ridiculous height of, as they say, toxic positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, they are girls turning into women, and I get to um, teach them how to love, how to receive love, how to be kind. My older daughter, we have conversations all the time now that it's a different type of topic now. And you know, I am able now to talk about topics that were taboo in my time, that misled, you know, me at times, because you know certain things you're looking for. So like
Yeah.
for instance, I'm talking to my daughter, and topic of boys come up, and she's 12, but everybody on Instagram and social media, and everybody's this and everybody's, and I said, social media is for adults. And long ago in my time, we never had, I mean, it wasn't prevalent in my time. Um, Anxiety, depression, not feeling well, not feeling enough. Yes, it was there. I'm not saying it wasn't there, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And I knew for sure it is social media that caused that, because we have an insight into everybody's lives, and half the time it's not real. And I said that's why you will encounter friends who say they're depressed. So I get to talk about these topics with my daughter when those things weren't even a topic before. Our parents probably didn't even know the word depression. And I get to break the cycle. And I think that's my biggest win. I get to break the cycle.
Yeah, and that's so powerful. And I love how you own that. I feel that should be the tagline for this series. I get to break the cycle, because it's one honoring that you take it upon yourself to make a change for your children, and to let them know that they have an option. They don't have to continue doing things that may not be for the greater good of their own families when they start their families, and for themselves as well. And the last thing I want to ask you is, what would you tell your younger self, or what you wish you had known then, now?
So I think I will tell my youngest self to wait, and wait to achieve these milestones. For instance, I would, if I had gotten married at an older age, I would have made a better choice if I had not listened to certain comments and certain things that we would have heard around us when we were growing up. I would have made a different choice. Had I loved myself more, I would have made a different choice. And I think it's a domino effect. And because growing up in my life, I think I've made good choices, my education and my friends, and I've made good choices up until to choose a partner. And I think we take for granted that, we meet somebody and we fall in love, and all the boxes checked off, and mommy like him and daddy like him and everybody. No, it's more than that. And I think every stage in your life you require different things. And I think had I waited, because I got married at 27, which is relatively old back then to get married at 27. But I didn't meet him until later on in life. And I think still I could have made it. I could have waited and dated longer and all those things. So that is what I would have told my younger self, because of that choice, now I have to choose to walk a different path, which I didn't plan for myself. And then one more thing that I would tell my younger self is, timelines is not your timeline, is not everybody else's timeline. When I started this business, I thought, okay, wait, you're 40, come on. I mean, you're gonna start a business at 40. And it happened. It just took off. And I thought, I should have done that when I was younger. I thought I had timelines to myself. Maybe I should have children younger. Maybe I should have gotten married younger. Maybe I should have bought a house younger. And everything was a timeline. And I've learned that was a big anxiety trigger for me, trying to keep that timeline. And now I don't know if it comes with being 40. I am so relaxed. And had I known what I know now then, I think I would have nailed it or then.
Yeah, that is such a common thing, I would think, to know now, or to think now about waiting. So they actually got married at the same age. For a woman, up until 35, we really act on what we were told in our younger years, right? So all the decisions and actions and wanting to please our family, all of that comes with the decisions we make in our 20s and early 30s, which is why we choose. I did the same thing. I had my check boxes and everything seemed fine, and I was ready for my happily ever after, which wasn't have happily ever after, but helped me find me and my new me. And after 35 is when we begin to question, is this really who I am? Is this what I want for my life? Is this how I want to live? And hindsight always gives us the perspective. But I do believe that we have to go through, I call it the university of truth, our life experiences, in order to be able to give what we came here to give in our lives and to break the cycle, because we can't break a cycle we didn't live in and didn't know anything about. It's a different dynamic when you went through it and you know for sure how to relate to it and how to exit it. So, AnnaLisa, I want to thank you so much for coming and sharing on this series. And I will ask you if you have any last words or inspiration for women out there who are going through a difficult time being both a single mother and having to have a professional career.
One day at a time. Everything takes time. There's no special prize for being first at something or being the best at something. It's a learning curve. I mean, and you are human. Understand that you are human, and give children space to be who they are. Give yourself space to grow, because we're still growing. We're still learning, and try to keep yourself as calm and relaxed as possible. So that will also filter down to your children with respect to balancing the career, cutoff time. When you get home, don't bring the work home. And for me, as a business owner, there's no cutoff time, but you have to get a cutoff. You have to designate time. And then there's a balance. And in life, I think everything's a balance, and maintaining the balance is key to the home life and the work life.
Yeah, that's so true. So to all the mothers out there, remember to maintain your life balance. And as today's Mother's Day, I want to challenge you to just sit and bask in all the love that you give in the world, all the love you have ever given anyone, your children, your parents, your spouse, your cousins, your friends, and know that you are filled with this love, and this is how you are able to give it. Enjoy being you, enjoy being a mother, and know that you are a gift and heart in this world. Thank you for watching this very special episode to my audience, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.